Okay, we are recording. Cool. Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Tarot Tuesdays here on the Lazy Genius Tarot and Bazaar. Today, I'm already posting today's Tarot Tuesday video. I know it's been 2 weeks since I posted a walkthrough for Walkthrough Wednesdays. I do apologize for that. There will be a new walkthrough out tomorrow. Let me see here. If you are new here, thank you for making this your first stop on the channel. Let me not forget to, shout out all of the new people to the channel here. Today, while I am currently loading today's Tarot Tuesday video, I actually just got in the mail today the second printing, or like the second edition, rather, of the Tarot Banksy 2, and this is the unboxing. I just got it in. I did the pre-order for this back in, like, I want to say late May, early June. And since then, I have actually become really good friends with the artist of this deck. Her name is Shilo from the Coupe de Lou Bazaar Studios. And again, like I said, me and her have actually become really good friends. That's the homie right there. Looks like there is some red paper in the thing, and then it's got some information on it. Give me 1 sec. Let me cut the paperwork off of here. Here's a coupon. I do believe she has entered all of the pre-order purchasers into a raffle for full sheets. So she's got copies of the deck that are still in full sheet form, and she's going to be raffling those off for all of the people that placed a pre-order for the Tarot Banksy 2, and they have the coupons for that, the tickets for the raffle in the shipping packaging there for the deck. That's pretty cool. And then here we have a couple of stickers. Looks like these are, yep, these are definitely stickers. It's pretty cool. Just different cards in sticker format. All right. Let's see here. A note from the shop. Thank you so much for ordering the Tarot Banksy. I hope you enjoy it and get many years of joy from it. Much love and thank you. Cool. Put that over there so I have my receipt. Not that I'm going to need it. All right, so the rest of this is actually packaged pretty nicely. I'm going to guess that there's a bag wrapped around the deck, and that's why it feels kind of squishy like that. Let's find out, eh? I don't want to hurt nothing. Oh, there is a bag on that deck. Okay. Let's see here. All right, here we go. All right, so this is actually packaged really well. There's like a bubble wrap on the outside. And there is indeed a bag, like a metallic, like a dark metallic red color. Pretty cool. I suppose that's going to match the gilding and the foil on the edges and card backs here. Go ahead and get through the paper. She's included a crystal. This one is a chevron amethyst. That's pretty cool. I got a button. I told her I needed a button that was the magician card and a button that was the strength card, because those are my two favorite cards in the whole deck. Well, this is pretty cool. All right. So she's got her business card here. Another one of those paper stickers. Those are pretty cool. Probably gonna stick those to something soon. Let's see here. So here's her business card. It's a pretty cool piece of artwork there. And then it's got some of the Banksy tarot cards on the back. Coupe de Lou. Like I said, Coupe de Lou Bazaar. I will, hopefully I remember. I need to remember, but I will put all of her info in the description box below so that you guys can reach out if you would like to. Set that thing. All right. Now we are approaching the final countdown, so to speak, the last little bits of paper that we are about to unravel. Now there's going to be some red glitter in here, I think. Yep, she has put some red glitter in here. See? It's pretty cool. It's a very well packaged deck. I like the way that she put the packaging together. You know, with the shiny red glitter in the paper here with the deck itself. I'm just trying to make sure everything is cleaned off before I pull it off from over the paper. Okay. Carefully move that over here so I don't spill it nowhere. Alright, and here we have the Tarot Banksy 2 in its new deck. Here you have the foil on the balloons. I don't know if I can get away with talking about it, but when she was trying to put the box together, I remember trying to help her come up with ideas and stuff. And I'm glad to see the way that this thing came out. You know, this came out great. The box has a matte finish to it. But it's like a smooth matte finish, and then it's got the foil on the hearts there. Definitely a really cool touch. I like the way that this box came out, especially considering the fact that I got to see its fruition, you know what I mean? And she has signed all of the second edition, but she has not numbered them like she did the first. I think that she has left herself open to do multiple printings of the second edition, so that way they're not numbered, but they are signed. So she did sign them for everybody, but she did leave herself some room to do another printing of the second version or the second edition of this deck, just in case. So let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. Okay. So it is not a book, it is a fold out. It is the same layout as the first edition there. But she has added 2 additional cards to this deck. Which we will go over here in just a bit. And then so like here is the definition for one of the 2 cards that was added, and the other one sits here. Now, originally I wasn't going to talk about it, but I think I'm going to talk about it. These spreads right here on her deck, I actually created these spreads, and these spreads, actually the pictures for these spreads were taken on this table. So the wood that you see right here is the wood that you see behind the cards on these spreads. I actually didn't think that she was really gonna use them. And if you look just right here in very small print, she actually gave me credit. So it says spreads by Lazy Genius Tarot Bazaar in hashtag form. I live in hashtag form in the Tarot Banksy too. Do you know how cool that is for me, yo? This is super dope. Okay, let me not get stuck on that. But yeah, I did. I wrote the spreads. I placed all the cards. I wrote the spread meanings and everything. So I got a chance to help one of the coolest creators I've met so far in finishing the guidebook before it went to print. So that was a pretty cool experience. I honestly didn't expect her to use my spreads, nor did I expect her to put my little hashtag right there above the second spread, spreads by Lazy Genius Tarot Bazaar. So that's pretty cool, yo. I'm kind of in awe right now. Okay, I will gush about that later in a message to her when I write her to tell her my impressions of this deck. Um, I like the way that it's been wrapped, and look at this foil on the gilding. Look at this. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a really good gilding. Now, much like the first edition of this deck, which sits right here on my shelf. Now, just like the first edition of this deck, the gilding does not lump. It's not like, look, if you see how easily they kind of slide apart from each other there, it doesn't lump. So it's like they're not stuck together. The card stock, I believe, is 350 GSM on a matte finish. So it's a pretty sturdy card, but at the same time, it's still shuffleable. And then again, just like on the box, you see on the cards here, we do have the red foil printing for the balloon. And this deck just feels great in your hands. Something about the way that she does the card stock with this. Her printer is great. But I really like these cards. It's like I said, it's a matte finish on a paper card stock. I believe it is 350 GSM with the gold foil printing on the backs and the box and the red metallic gilding. That's cool, yo. I'm like a piece of this deck. Granted, it's just a very small piece, but still, I'm honored, yo. Like, that's cool as shit. I'm surprised she put my name in that book like that. I mean, she told me she was gonna do it, and I didn't like not believe that she was gonna do it, but now that I see it on paper, it's kind of cool, you know what I mean? I guess I really just still didn't expect it overall. So, okay, let me stop gushing because I'm super excited about this. Let's take a look at these cards. Let's zoom in. And this is the Tarot Banksy 2 by Kupti Lou Bazaar. Here we have the Fool, Red Riding Hood with a basket full of spray paint. Now, the way she did the Banksy deck is amazing because while it does fit very well for the Rider-Waite-Smith card definitions and reading style, if you read through her fold out, you will notice most of the definitions are definitely RWS based. But if you are familiar with Banksy's artwork, this deck is totally capable of taking itself on an entirely different turn from the normal RWS meanings of the cards. They tell a whole story almost in and of themselves. And then if you kind of read them intuitively and allow the story from each card to kind of pull you where it's supposed to, you can kind of string the cards together in a story fashion that is it just works for tarot. It works so much better than you would think. I've been a fan of Banksy's artwork for a very long time. So when I first saw this deck, I had just purchased a different version of the Banksy's tarot from a tarot company, a tarot creator known as Ursa's Tarot or Ursa Tarot out in the UK. But it was Thoth based. The borders were real big, black borders. The cardstock wasn't the best. Needless to say, that version of the Banksy Tarot went pretty much right into my buy sell trade pile. I came across this one through a, well, actually, through the same lady who I buy most of my rare, vintage, or out of print decks from. She is a mutual friend of the creator of the deck. And when I told her that I had found the other Banksy deck, she had put me in the direction of this one. She had sent me to the Etsy link for the pre-order. And she also said that she knew Shilo and that Shilo was a cool person and that I should reach out. So I did. And like I said, ever since then, me and Shilo have actually become pretty good friends. She is a super cool person. And, you know, a cool person with a super awesome eye for art. And this deck that she made is fantastic. I love this. So let's go ahead. Here we have the Fool. A lot of the cards are going to be the same as the second edition. If I'm not mistaken, the only thing that's different is she took out the two alternate cards and then added two extra arcana cards instead. Here's the Magician. This is my favorite Magician card in any deck ever, period. This is it. This is my Magician right here. I love this card. God, these cards feel so good in your hand. The matte card stock, it almost glides and it feels like it's been powdered almost. Her printer does an amazing job. She did the thing with this deck right here. I like this. It is definitely a step up from the first edition, I'll put it that way. Here we have the High Priestess. Here's the Empress. The Emperor. For anybody that doesn't know who Banksy is a UK, Europe-based graffiti artist. He works heavily with stencils, and his artwork is largely politically fueled. People would call him a revolutionary artist, an activist. You know, he can be associated with many different things along the lines of, like I said, activism and just overall going against the system, anti-establishment kind of mindset. They're definitely a revolutionary artist for sure. This is a really cool Lovers card. This might actually be one of my favorite Lovers card. You got Yoda and E.T. Here is the Chariot card. This Banksy's artwork is provocative, right? So here in the Chariot card, if you look at what the Chariot actually is, it is a carriage. One of those man-drawn carriages, only at the front rather than a man. We have a child. And then you have the folks in the seat there snapping selfies. And I like the contrast, the way that Banksy kind of made these two in full-on color, and then everything else seems black and white. It's just something about his artwork. I've always been a fan of the way that this man shines a light on the current state of the world. Here is my favorite strength card also in any tarot deck. So this deck, the Banksy Tarot, or the Tarot Banksy rather, um, by Kupti Lu, is now genuinely the place that houses two of my favorite cards in any tarot deck, and that is the Magician and the Strength card. This is my favorite Strength card. Um, the mirror up here on the wall with the spray paint on it, it says "Run for your lives." And then you have the same little girl from the back of the cards with her same heart-shaped balloon right here. She's like reaching out for the lion, right? Dopest strength card ever. I love this card. The Hermit. It's one of my favorite Hermit cards. I really like this deck. She chose just the right artwork for the cards, especially if you are familiar with Banksy's artwork. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. Again, a great selection for the artwork for the card there. And then here we have Justice, little girl patting down the soldier. Here you have the Hanged Man, a naked man hanging off the windowsill while the husband's looking out trying to find whoever was in the house with his wife. The Death card. It's one of my favorite death cards honestly as well. So if you notice, the splatter from the gunshot is turning into butterflies as they sort of fly away from death, and that's sort of a marker of the transition that is the death card, right? So like they transition from a bloody mess into something that most people would consider to be beautiful, which is a butterfly, right? Here we have Temperance, which looks to be the Cupid angel wearing a bulletproof vest that's been marked by a paintball. Banksy's work is really dope. The Devil, one of my favorite Devil cards, holding onto that television, the box. That box is the Devil, I swear it. Totally agree. Dope card. Here we have the Tower. It's a pretty cool piece of Banksy's artwork. Here we have the Star card. And just for a quick bit of context, you have here what looks to be a city worker chipping away at the star on the wall, scraping it off. The Moon card is upside down. But here we have what looks to be Cinderella's horse-drawn carriage flipped upside down. Okay, that's the Moon card. That's a very interesting Moon card. And this actually almost looks like photography, right? Like it almost looks like he took some children's toys and flipped them upside down and then took a picture of it and then used that picture as the stencil or the wheat pasting or whatever. Here's the Sun. So it looks like you've got two kids here playing in the sand while looking through a hole in the wall out at a scenic view of the beach. It's a pretty cool Sun card. One of my favorite Judgment cards ever. A lot of people are triggered by this card. A lot of people do not like this card. It's like the Twin Towers card from the Kickstarter version of the Urban Tarot. I appreciate the shock value of this, because there are definitely people out there that feel like this card is an accurate depiction, right? While there are definitely people out there that feel that it is not, opinions are like booty holes, everybody's got one. But at the end of the day, I do feel like this is a great piece of art. It is controversial. It is the kind of thing that makes you think, that makes people talk, and that actually pulls the issues that are currently being seen by the world around us out into the forefront. I appreciate stuff like this because it's a cause for conversation, and you gotta love stuff like that. Looks like these are a little out of order. So after Justice is the World. This is my favorite World card also, by the way. You see how he's spray painted sort of like the map, but it's just above the drain, and he's got sort of the whole world sort of slipping down the drain right there. I mean, it's a powerful piece of art if you really look at the way that this man puts his art together, and then you really look at the state of the world currently. His art is amazingly relevant, and even revolutionary, and I'll probably say that a couple of times over the course of this walkthrough, but it is really relevant and almost even revolutionary in times like what we face now. So there is the World. And here we have the two extra major arcana. You have Social Justice, which is a candle which is setting the flag on fire. And it looks like that is set up at a memorial. So knowing the things that have been going on in the US with the sort of tension between the police and the public, especially the public of colored populations, black and brown people, natives, Mexicans, blacks, especially black folks, especially natives. We could really dive into this topic, but one of the things that I like about the second version of this deck with the two additional major arcana cards, because here is the second additional major arcana, which is the Street Artist. You see how the street artist has no head, but he is putting up pictures of his head that says lost. Public notice, periodic, it says periodic water spray system in action, but somebody's blocked out water. But when you really sit down with these two cards here, especially knowing the theme and undertone of the deck, it sort of presents you with a whole lot to unpack. It's sort of indicative of the plight that we find ourselves in currently as citizens of the Western world. I like these cards that she's added. The Social Justice card is, and the Street Artist card, both of them, they both sort of hit home for me. I have sort of considered myself an activist for certain things for a while, so this sort of hits home, and I got my start in arts, period, as an artist of any sort, in graffiti. That was one of the first forms of art that I ever became involved in as as an up-and-coming artist or young person in general. So both of these cards sort of speak to me, especially. I really like that. That's cool. And I can't get over the way these cards feel when you're holding them in your hand. So there is the major arcana. If you notice, she did take out the 2 alternate cards, which there was an alternate for the Pope card, and an alternate for the card with the Queen on it. She took out those alternate cards and she put in those 2 additional arcana cards. Now we are going to go ahead and go through the minors real quick. I am going to go through these a little quicker than I did the majors. I will point out anything that kind of catches my eye in the meantime. I'm pretty sure the rest of the art in these cards is going to be the exact same art from the first edition of the Tarot Banksy, which again I have right here. Now that I have the second edition, and this is going to go on the shelf, and the second edition is going to take this one's place on the display shelf on the wall here at my reading station. So let's go ahead and go through the minors here. Buckets is going to be your cups. That's a pretty dope picture. It's like the Beastie Boys when they're in their 60s. The 4 of buckets, this is going to be the full image from the picture on the backs. 5 of buckets, it looks like you got one person with the protest sign with the heart, another person with the protest sign with the peace sign. It looks like they're fighting. Here you have the 6 of buckets, or the 6 of cups. Here you have the 7 of buckets. I really like that card too. As above, so below. Sort of always a choice, no matter where you're going. Here's the 8. The 9. Looks like he's about to take a sledgehammer to a balloon. 10. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the buckets are cups. Yep. Okay. It's a pretty cool 10 of Cups card, right? It's like that red metallic heart balloon with all the band-aids on it. Still has the air left in there miraculously. It's actually one of my favorite pieces of art in the deck. Just in general. Really like that card. The courts are sister, brother, mother, father. So here we have the sister of buckets, which would be normally the page of cups. I don't know if I'm seeing things, and that's just the way that this particular card is printed, like if this is a picture from a piece of canvas, but this also almost looks like it is a linen with this super matte finish, but it doesn't feel like a linen cardstock. I think it's just the way that this particular card is printed. There's the sister of buckets, the brother of buckets, the mama of buckets, swinging, being held up by the air in her heart balloons, and the papa of buckets. And we get into the spray cans, which this is going to be our suit of air. Also traditionally the suit of swords. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck too. It's a periscope that says, I see humans but no humanity. Here we have the 2 of spray cans. Again, these spray cans are going to be swords. Here's the 3, 4, 5. It says draw the raised bridge, and little dude's sitting there with his sword up in the air and what looks like a colander on his head as a helmet. Here's the 6 of spray cans. This is actually Steve Jobs carrying a computer monitor with a sack over his shoulder, almost looking like a thief in the night slipping out the side door. Here you have the 7 of spray cans, or the 7 of swords. Here you have the 8 of swords, and that's an upside down shopping cart with a person in the actual shopping cart. All they have to do is stand up and they're free, but they are definitely caged as long as they remain in that position. Here is the 9 of swords, or the 9 of spray cans rather, for this particular deck. The 10 of swords, 0, 0, 0, no comments, no love, no friend request. So you got no comments, no likes, no friend request, holding his phone, crying. That seems to be sort of a fitting card for today's society, isn't it? The way that everybody is so concerned with their phones and what's going on with social media, and how many likes and comments and followers and subs they can get, right? And then following that sort of same thing, coming right off of that card with the 10 of swords, you have, or the spray cans rather, you have the sister of spray cans right behind that, where you see the phone actually growing roots into the wrist of the person holding it, just under their hand there, as it almost has become an extension of their body, right? Here you have the brother of spray cans, which is definitely a cop spraying mace. This is not a new image to a lot of people that have been in the activism world for a long time. There are numerous images of numerous happenings where police have just been doing like walk by, bear mace sprayings of peaceful protesters. You know, so I mean, I think that is definitely a fitting card for what would otherwise be the Knight of Swords, or in this case, the Brother of Spray Cans. Here you have the Mama of Spray Cans, a girl with her selfie stick, and on the end of that selfie stick is a pistol. Here we have the Papa of Spray Cans, or the King of Swords. Now, this is a belt-fed, military-grade weapon, right? Looks like something you would see in Rambo. But what's on the string here of belt-fed ammunition are crayons, which are what all of the flowers right here are drawn on from the looks of it there. Now we move into brushes, which is going to be our suit of wands. Let me check the time here. Oh. Yep, this one ran over, so I'm going to end up having to edit this guy. Okay, so here we have our suit of wands. This is the ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, five, pillow fight. So the 5 of wands, which is like the friendly or playful competition on this card here for this deck, is a pillow fight between two people that look like they've been suited up for revolution or war. If you win the rat race, you're still a rat. 6 of wands. 7 of brushes, or the wand suit. There's the 8, the 9 of wands, and the 10 of wands. Now, just real quick, I like this card, and I don't just like the card because Buddha's all beat up. I like the card because of the message behind it, where even the most peaceful people are most often the first to be attacked, right? Nice guys finish last. There's a bunch of different ways that you could word that, but it's a really good depiction of that sort of energy or idea there. And I like the way that she placed that there for the Nine of Brushes or the Nine of Wands. This says, if you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. Ten of Wands. Here we have the Sister of Brushes, dressed as a Statue of Liberty, picking her nose. The Brother of Brushes, painting Last Chance on the fence there. Here we have the Mama of Brushes. And here we have the Papa of Brushes. This is a depiction of old Abe Lincoln walking around as an old man with that little cart that the old folks push when they're getting ready to go jump on the bus to go somewhere for like grocery shopping or something. The Suit of Stencils or Pentacles. Here we have the Ace of Stencils, the old 10-pound bill with Princess Di on it. Here we have the Two of Stencils, the Three of Stencils, the Four of Stencils here. New York Stock Exchange on his t-shirt, walking away with a bunch of money. He almost has that scared look on his face there, like he's worried somebody's going to take it from him. Here we have the Five of Stencils. The stained glass has been taken over by graffiti. The Six of Stencils, which looks almost like the merch line at a punk show. This says street art is a money pit, and they're like picking up what looks to be a curtain of the wall there. And it looks like they are sweeping money under the rug. That is a very true statement, though. Street art is definitely a money pit. You spend a lot of money to get supplies and stuff to go out there and go do art that most people, while they appreciate it, they still, to some certain degree, despise it because it's not legal or it's not fitting of the norm, right? Definitely outside of the box. Here you have the Eight of Stencils, where it looks like a little kid is sewing together the flags there on the line. Here you have the Nine of Stencils. It's a pretty big wall piece too when you look at it. That's at least a story and a half in height. Here we have the Ten of Stencils. The Sister. Brother. Will work for idiots. Another card with Princess Di. And finally here we have the Papa of Stencils, which I believe this is a silhouetted picture of Banksy himself. So there we go. We finish out the deck with a picture of the artist himself. Of course, there's not going to be a picture of his actual face. I'm pretty sure in most of the UK he is a wanted man because of the images that he has put on those walls that have been so well translated into this beautiful tarot deck here. Again, this is the Tarot Banksy 2, or the second edition of the Tarot Banksy. Again, the red gilding on this deck is amazing. The gilding on her last one has held up very well to my riffle shuffling, so I have no doubt this one will be the same. I'm pretty sure they came from the exact same printer. Look at that. Just a really high quality card. You can kind of hear them when you rub them together, they've got that soft, matte feel to them. Ah, love it. And just for the sake of those of us out there that like the sound of a good riffle shuffle, let's go ahead and give it its first riffle shuffle right now. Oh. Okay, one more. One more, just because I can't help it. Oh, and for being as thick as these cards are, what with the full weight of a 350 GSM card stock, you guys see it, they riffle shuffle amazingly. And nowhere, I have a funny feeling that these cards here are going to hold up amazingly well for riffle shuffling in regards to the gilding on the edges there. It's a very well printed deck. Shilo, homie, you did it again. This thing is amazing, dude. Thank you. Oh yeah. I love this deck. All right, I gotta stop gushing for a quick second and go ahead and cut this video here probably. It's getting close to an hour long, and well, it's at 46 minutes, but at like 35 minutes, my phone splits everything into multiple files. So in order for me to keep this video and run it, I'm going to have to figure out how to edit it to put those two files back together for one cohesive video. So I kind of had a feeling that that was going to happen, but you know, another quick side note, I normally don't like borderless cards, but something about this deck, guys. I don't care that the cards are borderless. Not even in the slightest. The art on them is amazing. Even if she wasn't as dope a person as she turned out to be when I met her, speaking of the creator of this deck, this would still be an amazing deck. But I feel like it's even more amazing now that I know her as a person, and I know how amazing she is in general. So it kind of even makes the deck itself more amazing. Just one good time there. I love the card stock on this deck. I am very impressed. Thank you, Shilo. You did it again. This is the Tarot Banksy 2, guys. And it is amazing. Again, it did come with this sort of red metallic bag that matches amazingly to the gilding there. And it did come with the fold out and the box itself with the gold foil on the box and card backs. So there you have it, guys. The Tarot Banksy 2. Here goes the extras there. Let's remember to put this stuff here. Yeah, there you have it, guys. Tarot Banksy 2. Definitely a long-awaited deck. Sorry, I have OCD and I want to make sure my stuff is straight. Long-awaited deck. I have definitely been waiting for this thing to come in for a long time. However, it's been a cool process to get to be a part of, to get to help out with the guidebook and helping with the spreads that were included, to helping with ideas for the box itself. Even though I played a minimal role in this deck, and I want to emphasize the word minimal there, it just feels cool to have been included in a project that is this dope. Thank you very much, Shilo, for allowing me to be a part of this. And thank you guys, either returning or new, to my channel. You know, thank you guys for coming and spending some time with me today. I know that this one's a little bit longer than normal, and I'm not sorry. This is an amazing deck, and it definitely deserves a proper unboxing walkthrough. I love you guys. Thank you for stopping by the channel and spending some time with me. And hopefully I will see you on the next one. All right? Catch you then.